Disclaimer, this is mainly based on my experiences and is a primary source for a journey many other Fortians have experienced. Chapter 1. The Primordial Soup. After a long wait in Legacy transitioning from pre-alpha to alpha, alpha would finally release on the 1st of June, to a lot of apprehension and hype, as it promised an experience far superior and improved compared to pre-alpha and Legacy. Many notable players from Legacy and pre-alpha would try the game, but many would also leave the game entirely due to the complete lack of content and the unfinished buggy state the game was in. The game would remain in a wave-only phase for a while, with a small play base that grew smaller each passing day. This period in Force history is marked by the utter lack of content, along with the absence of many systems we have today, such as rolling for cosmetics and factions. Chapter 2. The Dawn Anger would finally make the game public to all players as he witnessed the dwindling numbers of the Wave player base. Before completely opening the game, he would open it on weekends only. A new influx of new players and returning players alike would hit the game, propelling it to its highest numbers in Alpha, averaging around 1,000 to 900 players. This period would also bring back the concept of factions, with the Bounty Hunters Guild, the Galactic Empire, the New Republic, and the Eternal Empire. These would provide small communities inside of Force itself and would generally propel the game forwards. However, many orders still remain prominent in the politics of the game, such as the True Mandalorians, who were basically a bunch of packs and new players running around, and other more elite orders such as Delta 04 and other strategic affairs branches. A rather large conflict would erupt between these two, and you can probably guess who won. Chapter 3. The Industrial Era. During this era, all factions and orders would continue gathering more members and honing their skills, eventually dividing into 6 main groups. The official factions would form 4 groups, while unofficial orders would form another. However, the last group was special. This was Delta 04, a part of strategic affairs, an unofficial order in the community. However, albeit their unofficial status, Delta had most of the best fighters and PvP experts in the community, which made them stronger than most official factions. During this age, these 5 groups would continue to grow and expand. However, the player base would still keep dropping as Anger refused to release new content and factions remained as a lifeline for the game. Chapter 3.5. The Powder Keg. During this whole time, the political state of Force can be seen as a powder keg, similar to how Europe was at the beginning of World War I. Each faction or order would continue expanding their sphere of influence, with Force lords and such, while still trying to remain relatively peaceful with the others. However, this would soon change. Chapter 4. The War to End. Old Wars. Near the end of August 2024, war would break out. The Empire, with help from Delta, would strike the Eternal Empire, hoping to take some Force lords for themselves. EE would then ally with the Republic to combat the threat. The Bounty Hunters Guild would soon join the war too, on the side of TGE and Delta. This war was one of the biggest Alpha had ever seen, with ganks and battles virtually every day. Force lords would be won and lost, with many being taken by both TGE and EE. The war would soon end, as EE and TNR would be defeated. The war was brief, yet deadly, as the devastation would reach even the newest players, as peaceful servers were devastated and razed to the ground by warring players. Chapter 5. The Restoration Period. During this period, all the factions would focus on regaining their strength while still remaining relatively neutral with each other. This was a pretty peaceful period, as it left room for newer players and freshies to learn the game and prepare for the inevitable outbreak of war. Guys, I don't have enough money to continue using this AI voiceover thing. Please subscribe and like for new videos, bro. Okay, back to the video. Chapter 6, The Great War and Betrayal. After gaining much power and confidence from the previous war, TGE would gain too much and would let it get to their head, as they decided to foolishly declare war on everyone, even Delta. This would prove to be a really bad decision, as they would get completely destroyed by the alliance of other official factions and even some Delta operatives. This would mark the end of the golden age of Force Alpha as after this, nothing else of importance happened. Chapter 7. The Dark Days, Age of Packs. During this period, Force would entire a stagnant period as most of the player base would leave, leading the average player count of the game to hover around 10. Many packs would continue playing like Be Mazed. Okay, bye.